Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all of you are well. This class is for Honors 4 and the course is Approach and Methods of Language Teaching. Look at the class. So those who want to be a teacher in future, this course is very useful to them because in this course you can know how you can teach the class, especially any language. Approach. An approach is a way of looking at teaching and learning. Underlying any language teaching approach is a theoretical view of what language is and of how it can be learned. An approach gives rise to methods, the way of teaching something, which use classroom activities or techniques to help learners learn. Methodology. Methodology is a system of practices and procedures that a teacher uses to teach. It will be based on beliefs about the nature of language and how it learned, known as an approach. The source is British Council. Approach, method and procedure. These three are different things. So what is approach? A set of assumptions about the nature of language learning and teaching. Method. An overall plan for systematic presentation of language based upon a selected approach. Procedure. Specific activities manifested in the classroom that are consistent with a method and therefore are in harmony with an approach as well. So procedure is mixture of method and approach. Look at the bold words. These are the key words of the definition of approach, method and procedure. Methods and approaches of English language teaching. According to Usher and James, 1982, methods are the combination of techniques. These are used and plasticized by the teachers in the classrooms in order to teach their students. Approaches are the philosophies of teachers about language teaching that can be applied in the classrooms by using different techniques of language teaching. For example, if a teacher has an approach that language is the communication and learning a language is in fact learning the meanings, functions and uses of language, so the techniques will be based on the communicative language teaching and task-based methods. So here are two methods mix up, communicative language teaching and task-based methods. According to Freeman, 2000, methods which are taught to the teachers make a base and give them thinking about the applicable techniques and principles according to the situation where they stand. They are clear about their attraction towards certain methods and also think that why have they repelled certain method. The knowledge of method is very necessary because their knowledge is base of teaching. Now, summarize the idea. Approach is the idea of a teacher and method is techniques and principles is applied by teachers. Actually, there are 8 prominent English teaching methods in the world. The first one is grammar translation method. The second is direct method. Third is audiolingual method. Fourth is communicative language teaching. Fifth is silent way. 6 is suggestopedia, 7 is total physical response, 8 is natural approach. Today we will start grammar translation method, that is GTM. So here we will find introduction, definition, history, principle, classroom techniques, objective language uses, language skill, advantages and disadvantages. Grammar translation method. Grammar translation method was the most popular and widely used method for language teaching between the ages of 1840 to 1940. But this method was first used for teaching and learning Latin language, which was not the language of common use at that time. Latin was considered as a classic language. The learners were made able to study the literature of Latin language through learning the grammatical rules of language and learning the vocabulary. so that learners may translate the language in their first language and in the second language. So look at the bold words. These are the key words for grammar translation method. What it is and when it is started and what is the purpose of grammar translation method. Principles and goals. There are two main goals to grammar translation classes. One is to develop students' reading ability to a level where they can read literature in the target language. The other is to develop students' general mental discipline. Number 2. Users of foreign language want to note things of their interest in the literature of foreign languages. Therefore, this method focuses on reading and writing and has developed techniques which facilitate more or less the learning or reading and writing only. As a result, speaking and listening are overlooked. Key features. Petrov and Celis Marcia in Teaching English as a Second Foreign Language, 1979. Classes are taught in the mother tongue with little active use of the target language. Much vocabulary is taught in the form of list of isolated words, such as word meaning. Long, elaborate explanations of the intricacies of grammar are given. Grammar provides the rules for putting words together, and instruction often focuses on the form and inflection of words. The principles of GTM. Grammar rules are presented and studied explicitly. Grammar is taught deductively and then practiced through translation exercises. So that means the teacher teach the grammar, first the structures, and then they tell the students to apply it. Number 2, the primary skills to be developed are reading and writing. Number 3, hardly any attention is paid to speaking and listening skills. Number 4, teacher correction is the only way to make students produce the right forms of the foreign language. The goal of foreign language learning is the ability to understand the written in the foreign language. Number 6, mastering the grammar of the foreign language is essential in order for students to understand the written target language. Vocabulary is learned from bilingual word list. Bilingual means from native language to language actually. So here it is mean from native language to the target language. Number 8, the mother tongue is used as the medium of instruction. Number 9, a paramount use of translation exercise is given. Petrov and Marcia, that is cited in Brown 1987, list the major characteristics of GTM as follows. Number 1, classes are taught in mother tongue with little active use of target language. Much vocabulary is taught in the form of list of isolated words. Long, elaborate explanations of the intricacies of grammar are given. Grammar provides the rules for putting words together, and instruction often focuses on the form and inflection of words. Number 5, reading of difficult classical texts is begun early. Number 6, little attention is paid to the content of texts, which are treated as exercises in grammatical analysis. Number 7, often the only drills are exercised in translating disconnected sentences from the target language into the mother tongue. Number 8, little or no attention is given to pronunciation. Number 9, the focus is on accuracy, not fluency. The following procedure of teaching the target language through the GTM is adapted from Larson and Freeman 2000. Number 1, the class reads a text written in target language. Number 2, students translate the passage from target language to their mother tongue. Number 3, the teacher asks students in their native language if they have any question. Students ask questions and the teacher answers the questions in their language. Number 4, students write out the answer to reading comprehension questions. Number 5, students translate new words from the target language to their mother tongue. Number 6. Students are given a grammar rule and based on the example, they apply the rule by using the new words. Number 7. Students memorize vocabulary. Number 8. The teacher asks students to state the grammar rule. Number 9. Students memorize the rule. Number 10. Errors are corrected by providing the right answers. Techniques. The grammar translation method has 9 techniques. Number 1. Translation of a literary passage. Translating target language to native language. Number 2. Reading comprehension questions. Finding information in a passage, making inferences and relating to personal experiences. Number 3. Antonyms and synonyms. Finding antonyms and synonyms for words or sets of words. Number 4. Cognates. Learning spelling sound patterns that correspond between L1 and the target language. L1 means the native language or mother tongue. Number 5. Deductive application of rule. Understanding grammar rules and their exceptions, then applying them to new examples. Number 6. Fill in the blanks. Filling in the gaps in sentences with new words for items of a particular grammar item. Number 7. Memorization. Memorizing vocabulary lists, grammatical rules and grammatical paradigms. Number 8. Use words in sentences. Students create sentences to illustrate they know the meaning and use of new words. Number 9. Composition. Students write about a topic using the target language, just like essay or paragraph. Advantages. The phraseology of the target language is quickly explained. Translation is the easiest way of explaining meanings of words and phrases from one language into another. Any other method of explaining vocabulary items in the second language is found time-consuming. Number 2. Teacher's labor is saved. Since the textbooks are taught through the medium of the mother tongue, the teacher may ask comprehension questions on the text taught in the mother tongue. Pupils will not have much difficulty in responding to questions on the mother tongue. So the teacher can easily assess whether the students have learned what he has taught them. Disadvantages. It is an unnatural method. The natural order of learning a language is listening, speaking, reading and writing. Number 2. Speech is neglected. The grammar translation method lays emphasis on reading and writing. It neglects speech. Thus, the students who are taught English through this method fail to express themselves eloquently in spoken English. 3. Exact translation is not possible. Translation is indeed a difficult task and exact translation from one language to another is not always possible. Number 4. It does not give pattern practice. A person can learn a language only when he internalizes its patterns to the extent that they form his habit. But the grammar translation method does not provide any such practice to the learner of a language. It rather attempts to teach language through rules and not by use. Grammar teaching. The teaching of grammar is deductive. Explicit teaching of grammar. The teacher introduces the rules explicitly and wants the students to apply these rules to new examples in exercises. Students are supposed to memorize the rules. In order to explain the rules, the teacher uses comparison and contrast between the student's native language grammar and target language grammar. Translation is a common way to clarify the meanings of new grammar patterns in the target language. That means the way we learn English grammar in our classes, that we use Bangla to explain the English grammar. That is actually grammar translation method. Role of L1 means the native language. L1, student's native language, has an important function in teaching vocabulary and grammar. L1 is used to clarify and explain the target language grammar patterns. L1 is also used to teach the meanings of unknown words in the target language. Since oral communication in the target language is not important, classroom instructions are given in L1. Materials. Texts from the target language literature are used. The teacher may either write the text or use an authentic literary text. Teacher's role. Teacher is the strict authority. Classes are teacher-centered. Students' roles. Students are the passive receivers of the new information. The teacher starts the activities and directs them. Students are supposed to memorize the rules and the new vocabulary with their meanings in their native languages. Just like the word in English word, know the meaning of Bangla and then memorize it. It is the student's role. Now have the summary of GTM. The strength is students learn a lot of vocabulary and grammar rules. It helps students to develop their minds through memorization activities. Reading and writing skill are developed. Weakness. Listening and speaking skill are not developed. Thus, learners are just translating from one language to another. The language used in class is the mother tongue of learners. Opportunities. Learners learn a new language by using textbook. Students learn grammatical paradigms. Students know vocabulary equivalent in their mother tongue. Threats. Student lack of comprehension, translating word by word. Learners get bored and frustrated. It is too focused in accuracy and mistakes are not tolerated. And again summarize the grammar translation. Teacher goals to read literature in target language to develop minds. Teacher role traditional, one of authority. Teaching and learning processes, deductive learning of grammar, rules to apply, memorization of translated vocab means vocabulary. Language or culture, literary language superior, fine arts. Emphasis on vocabulary, grammar, reading and writing. Role of native language, used mostly in classroom, heavy translation into native language, student errors. The correct answer important, teacher supplied. Evaluation, written translations, questions answer, foreign language and culture. Today up to this, still if you have any confusion or question, do comment in the comment section. Thank you everyone.